Anyone who has, just say hi if you have already attended our sessions, and tell me which session you have attended before. So I would like to, so you will be able to just write. You can't see the, messages, black belt. Nazim is telling the black belt, and GB as well. Okay. Mhm. So special welcome to you. And so, there are many. Uh, Sarfaraz. Okay, GB have attended. Okay, so see, the good part is, if you have already completed black belt from us, you can easily see the correlation. In fact, your next step, once you become a green belt or a black belt, your next step after you have learned all these regression and logistic regression is to become a data scientist. So it's so easy. But if you have not done any training, that definitely doesn't matter. You can still become a data scientist and AI and machine learning expert. Before we start, let me ask you certain questions. So which industry you belong to, if you can just tell me, that will help me to. So I see people from manufacturing, oil and gas, banking, IT. Okay. And people from manufacturing, you have got a very good opportunity to, in fact, explore some new options in career, because it's so easy nowadays. It's very easy. You don't have to be a programmer to become a data scientist. That's the best part. So thanks a lot. If you're in construction, lots of AI applications are going to be seen in the near future, 5 years, 10 years down the line. And please be prepared for the future by learning those techniques. I see people from healthcare also. Okay, healthcare. Okay, healthcare. Actually, a lot of my work has been in healthcare. So we will.
So you're on mute.
Okay, so thanks a lot for participating in the poll, and let me ask you another question. What is your knowledge about data science? So are you a total beginner, or you have attended some programs, or you are an expert, you're just coming to see me? How do I conduct the session? A lot of people, they sometimes want to see how others are doing. So I see that 80% of you are attending the data science program for the first time. So here, in this case, I would have to actually start from the ground zero. And 20% of you have almost, even, or only one person has completed a certification course in data science. So I'll have to ignore you. I have to take care of the 99% of the people who have not been exposed to data science. So are you able to hear me?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So thanks a lot. So as I say, 80% of you are attending the first time any data science program for the first time. So, well, I will start with the very, very ground zero. See, my aim is to make at least 100 data scientists. Now, next 6 months, I'm going to work in Saudi Arabia. Actually, I have an Aqama also. Most of my work is in Middle East, as many of you know, including Dubai, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, Oman. And my aim in the next 6 months to make around 100 data scientists, full-fledged data scientists in the Middle East region. I've already trained more than 500 people in India as data scientists. And before that, 150,000 people in data analytics. That's Lean Six Sigma. It's all about data analytics. So data analysis has been my forte for the last 33 years. And I'm looking forward to my new, you can say, venture of creating 100 data scientists in Middle East. And I'm conducting one program in Riyadh next to next week. So it will be immediately after the Eid holidays. The dates I will give it to you. I think somewhere in the first week of July it is. And I look forward to people. If you are in Riyadh after 2 weeks, please do attend my training program. I'll give you the details also for that. If you want face-to-face. I see, you can do face-to-face trainings also, or you can do online training also. Both are same. Face-to-face, you can, sometimes you are more motivated in the face-to-face. The transfer of knowledge remains the same. But sometimes, when you're face-to-face, usually you can ask the question, or I can see you whether you're really doing, when you are learning Python. And by the way, Python is very easy. If you have heard of Python, well and good. If you have not heard of Python, I will tell you what is Python. Today is the first day. You will be seeing what is Python. Python means the language. And if you are have got some exposure, you will also understand that, see, the data science or AI or ML is very vast topic. And people will keep on confusing you. They will say, there are so many things in AI and ML. My approach is for an average professional, who is around having between 0 to 15 to 20 years of experience, and who's looking forward to a great career ahead. How can I guide him from scratch to embrace data science? Because it is going to be there for the next at least 10 years. AI, ML, and data science, at least 10 years. Now, some people will say, okay, this whole century belongs to AI, data science. See, the reason I'm just saying 10 years, because the way things are changing, we don't know what's going to happen after 10 years. Maybe something new will come. I may be conducting a session about something XYZ. Who knows? So looking at the pace. But one important thing is, if you don't keep up the pace, whatever happens after 10 years, you will be totally out of sync. You will be like, you will not understand anything. It is like a person who did not study ABCD in the beginning. If a person who has not gone to school, now whatever happens in the world, he's bothered. It's one of the same thing for him. So you can keep pace with the changing times only if you are able to, sync yourself with the existing times. So today it is all data science. So thanks for participating in the poll. Your organizers uses data science? No. Some people are saying no. Sorry to tell you. There are some people who are telling no. Sorry to tell you, they use data science. Your organization already uses data science. You are not aware of it. Okay. So today, I think you will open up to that knowledge. Then let me ask you the last question. I think one more question. Okay. Have you completed Lean Six Sigma Green Belt or Black Belt from Anexas before? Now, depending on if lots of people are there, I will go to advanced levels. And I will even show you some maybe multiple regression, because you're already aware of multiple regression. There are lots of algorithms which we teach in machine learning. But So lots of people I see, they have attended. Okay. So because you are aware of multiple regression, I will show you how it is done in Python, and I'll show you a case study. Okay. But many of you have not, so don't worry. 1.5 hours, I'll be totally devoted to, I'll start from ground zero. And I am assuming that you don't know anything else other than your own topic, which is, of course, nothing related to AI and data science. And I'll start with ground zero. Okay. So at least after 2 hours, you can say proudly to people around you that you are aware of AI, ML, and data science, and a little bit of deep learning also. Yeah. But give me around 8 hours, I can expose you to lots of algorithms also. As a manager or a senior manager, whatever you are supposed to know, you would definitely get to know. But today you have given me only 2 hours. So my job is to actually make you literate in data science. Very quickly, we are existing as an organization. We have been there for last 17 years, since 2006. We have been training a lot of people in all data analytics related topics, Lean Six Sigma being primary, and then after that, PMP, CPHQ, Certified Professional Healthcare Quality. More than 3,000 people have been certified by NHQ after taking our sessions. More than 7,000 PMPs have taken training and got certified. I'm talking about they got certified as PMP, and more than I think 25,000 people have done the training from us, and so on and so forth. I'm a chemical engineer, MBA finance. I've also completed. Actually, this okay. This slides are historical, chronologically. It is telling that I started in 1990. I became a chemical engineer in 1990. After that, MBA finance from Jamnalal Bajaj in one of the top 5 business institutes in India. And then I used to work very hard, but I used to earn very less money. Then I got the secret to success, and one of that was getting the certifications, because the graduations, and it was true 30 years ago, now it is more true. So graduation will just open some doors for you, but the certifications will open up new doors and doors to the future. So that is why I invested lots of money, and after investing lots of money, today, as I said before you, I'm a data scientist, I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, PMP, CPHQ, lots of experience, consulted lots of organizations, etc., etc., and written books as well as spoken in many conferences worldwide. Data Science Europe, I've been a key speaker there. 3 years I have presented the case studies on our projects. Especially, most of my projects have been in healthcare, where we have predicted the mortality rates of the patients after certain surgeries, depending on certain factors. Then we have also done good work in prediction of diabetes, early prediction of diabetes, etc. And apart from that, I have done some projects in fraud detection in banks. And these, these applications may look little complicated to you, but just to tell you, once you know the data analytics part or the statistical part of AI and machine learning, it's all very, very simple. Why I'm telling you all these things? Because you also can achieve this and much more, because you'll be learning today not only from me, but also I have learned from many of my students, past students, and I'll be sharing as much as possible. Yeah, some photographs to prove that I have done training programs worldwide, etc. I am proud to tell that I conducted the first ever black belt training program in whole of Middle East in 2007, and appeared on many TV programs, business TV shows.
On 21st of May 2009,
I presented case studies in fraud detection in bank. I keep writing lots of articles in the newspapers in Gulf News, Times of India, Dainik Bhaskar. Yeah, I'll just end my introduction with the Dr. Tarif Alama, who's the Deputy Minister of
We
Health,
have Dr. Tarif Alama
including
with us.
Dr. Muhammad Ali, who's also in the Ministry of Health, he was a spokesperson of the Ministry of Health, and lots of ministers as well from other departments have been our students.
The
They have
Deputy
given
Minister
excellent credentials,
in
and
Health
we have
in
been
Saudi.
doing good work in Middle East for the last 14, 15, I think, yeah, 16 years. Yeah, so great. Now let me ask you, what is your understanding? If you can just write in the chat box, what is your understanding of data science? What do you think? Because I'm sure you have heard a lot about it. What is data science? After that, I'll ask you, what is AI? Then I will give you a little bit of bigger picture. Then once I give you the bigger picture, then after that, I'll take you deeper into the areas of machine learning and data science. Last 45 minutes, I will teach you the hardcore algorithm. And because most of you are beginners, I will teach you an algorithm called regression and even multiple regression. And then for those who have already got some exposure, I will show you one case study also using multiple regression. I will show in Python. So first 1 hour 45 or say 1 hour 30 minutes will be purely for those who have never been into data science or AI or ML. And yes, so now people are telling analyze and predict results on the basis of data. Yes, Mohammed, you're right, absolutely right. Using data to predict something which is expected, but at the right time. Okay, that's you're right. Okay, it is a study of data to make predictions. Okay, right. Now, one good thing, and a lot of people who have attended our training programs might agree with me, that we make complicated things simple. See, I can very easily impress you with all my 33 years of experience and knowledge and telling you stories on sharing some very complicated case study with you. And by the way, we have got all kinds of SABIC and Aramco and King Fahd Medical City and International Medical Center and Ministry of Health and Riyadh Bank or Deutsche Bank and Bank of Oman and Bank Muscat. They are all our clients. So I can try to impress you with all these things, but the idea is to take you to a certain level in terms of AI and ML and data science so that after 2 hours, you at least are able to talk minimum 15 minutes about these topics to a person who's also not aware of this thing. So let me tell you what is data science. So first of all, before I begin, we do conduct data science courses. Right now, I'm here to say sort of promote our Riyadh program. Riyadh program is happening in the first week of July. My team can tell me exact dates. I'm forgetting, but it's immediately after, I think, Eid holidays. In the evenings, I think 2 hours. We have scheduled in one of the hotels there. So if you are in Riyadh, please, July 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm conducting. In person, I'll be conducting. And you can bring your laptops. I'll teach you Python also. I'll teach you 3 to 4 very good algorithms also. And we will solve some case studies. And if you can get some data from your organization, we can create some models also. In the classroom itself, we'll create some prediction models which you can easily use in your own organization. So that's how I'm trying to achieve in that program. Now there is a huge salary hike. Nowadays there is a very huge lacuna, or I can say lots of vacancies are there. we ourselves are looking for lots of data scientists. We have got many projects from 3, 4 Ministry of Health. We have got many projects from, I think, 7 or 8 banks from Australia, New Zealand, European banks. But we ourselves, we are not getting people. We are not getting people. So one of the things is that if you get trained and if you learn fast after joining our courses, we ourselves can offer you some assignments. And these assignments can be part-time also. You sit at home, you can continue working wherever you are, and in your spare time, you can explore the data, analyze the data, develop some models. Nowadays, it is so easy. You will soon see everything is outsourced to software nowadays. Nowadays, you don't even have to write the code. You have ChatGPT, right? So the whole idea is to give you good information about the whole idea is to give you information about the immense opportunities. Now, to become a data scientist or AI ML expert, you need to be motivated. So let me motivate you. So first, let me introduce you to what is artificial intelligence. First, the intelligence. Intelligence is the computational part of the ability to achieve goals in the world. So you are somewhere here, yeah, and you want to reach here. You have a problem here, and you want to get a solution. Yeah. Now, problem could be anything. Your organization has got low productivity. You want to increase the productivity. Your customers are not buying your products. You would like to increase the sales of your products. You want to plan your manpower well in advance. You want to reduce your costs because a lot of inefficiencies are there in your systems, in your processes, and you would like to improve the efficiencies. So you would like to predict, a lot of things you would like to predict. What is likely to be the sales? What should I do to increase my sales? What should I do so that if I'm a bank, then I should be able to detect the fraud early on? How can I reduce the fraud? How can I increase the customer satisfaction in my bank? How can I improve the health of my patients? How can I treat my patients well? If you are in automobile industry, how can I drive a car without a driver? No. So if you have a problem today and you want a solution, okay. The computational part of the ability to achieve the goals in the world, moving from here to here. Now, a human being is capable of, solving the problems. I'm not saying solving all the problems. They're capable. They may or may not be able to solve. That's a different thing. But they are able to solve because they have a capability to think. Now, what if I make the machine to think just like human beings? If I make machines to think just like human beings, and the advantage of a machine is they don't have emotions. Yeah. So in that case, they can think more logically, they can think faster without any hindrances of emotions. If I'm able to develop an agent like this, we say that I have developed an AI agent. I'm trying not to use jargon. I can impress you with lots of jargons as well. Very recently, I attended one IIM Bangalore advanced data science course, machine learning and AI course. I've got lots of techniques and tools and algorithms in my mind, in my brain, but I'll try not to use too many jargons because most of you are totally new to the subject. So what I'm trying to achieve here is, I want to develop an artificial agent who is able to interact with the environment. So in order to understand this in a simple way, imagine how a human being works. So this is let's say this is a human. The black box with the two legs is a human. How do we interact? I have an environment. Now I look at the environment. So we perceive the environment. We perceive the environment through our senses. Yeah, so like I can see, I can hear, I can feel, etc. I perceive the environment, and then I process that information, whatever I'm receiving from the environment. I process that information, and I decide to take an action based on whatever data I have processed. I decide to take an action, and I I implement, I execute that action through the effectors like hands, legs, or facial expressions. Right now, I'm doing the same thing. Right now, I'm operating in an environment. You are part of that environment, and laptop in front of me, the camera in front of me, they're all part of my environment. I'm receiving the information, and based on the information, you are giving me your feedbacks and inputs, writing messages in the chat box. I'm just taking that input, processing that input. I already have certain information in my system. I'm using that wisdom or the database, that information. And after processing, I decide to take an action. And I'm acting on the environment. And I'm giving back to you right now. I'm making a speech, or conducting a training. Now, what if I develop an agent who is also able to do exactly the same thing? Yeah. So there are various ways of doing this. One of the ways is giving the agent a goal. Giving an agent a goal. Now, we can call it as utility points, utility points. I'm taking one example. Utility points means I will tell the agent to maximize the utility points. So agent, what it will do, I can develop a simple reflex agent also. Like, for example, it senses the environment and sees how is the world like now. And I already have defined some condition action rules in that agent, in the database of that agent. And it's something like, if you see this, you should do this. If you see this, you should do this. And based on that decision, whatever it takes, it will act on the environment. I have not used any of the jargons. Yeah, as of now, I'm trying my best not to use any jargon. I'm trying to explain the whole thing in simple English. And actually, AI data science is simple English. Those who make you afraid of statistics, I can tell you that statistical part is all taken care of by softwares. You should just know, where to click the right button. Just to make it a little simpler, you should know what algorithm to use. That's it. And you can call that function very easily in your Python, and easily you can solve any problem. Yeah, so coming back, if I'm able to develop an agent who can act, and now in order to make the agent act like a human being, I have to motivate that agent, isn't it? I have to give a goal. So you have to maximize utility. For example, how we are motivated right now, most of us are motivated because of money, isn't it? For us, the utility points is money. So wherever we see money, you keep doing that. Like our decision to take an action. Should I do this training or not? Should I go to the city or not. Everything is based on money. I'm just taking a simple practical example, just trying to tell you that how to motivate our agent, right? So I can also tell the agent to do certain actions which will increase the utility points. And in this way, the agent will also act the way I want it to act. Okay. Now, this was very simple agent. Then if you, complicated the matters further, nowadays, of course, because of deep learning, you are able to develop much advanced agents which are much ahead of human beings. But if I take the simple example, if I a little bit improve upon that simple reflex agent, the agent will sense how the environment is now, how is the world is now. Then it also knows how the world evolves. It also knows, it has got some historical information, previous data also, how the things happen. And then he knows what happens if I do action A, what happens if I do action B, how happy I am doing action A. And to generate more and more utility points, it always executes the right action. And this is how I develop an agent. I will not, although there are some good slides and very interesting slides on history of AI, but I'll skip those slides because today my main intention is to give you some algorithms and show you some case studies. But just very quickly, it all started. See, it's not new. AI existed long time ago. Anything intelligent behavior, which was made possible through thermostats, that is also AI. But in today's world, we say, or there's a test to pass whether a particular agent is an AI. Can I say that it is a AI application or not? There's a Turing test where it's something like, if I put one human being here, let's say B and C are humans, okay, and now C is an observer. He is interacting with both B and A, but he doesn't know where is B and where is A. Means A is the AI application, yeah. So A is the AI application and B is the human being. Now C is allowed to interact with both A and B. And if C is not able to make out the difference, is not able to detect in which room is the human being and which room is the AI application, that means we'll say that this particular application gets qualified for being an AI application. AI application examples are self-driving car, chat GPT, and lots of chatbots, automated responses, so many of them. I'm sure you must have seen lots of AI applications in your real life by now. So that was a Turing test. Now, if it passes the Turing test, that means we say that we have developed an AI application. Even decision trees, they have existed for quite some time, and they have got extensive use in AI. John McCarthy is considered as the father of AI. He called a conference in 1956, and he first time used the word AI, artificial intelligence, and then he developed Lisp language. But anyway, all history, I'll not spend too much time on it, although it is very interesting. But just to tell you, AI has been there for almost 70, 80 years, even 100 years for that matter. But why it has progressed so fast? Because the computational capabilities have increased a lot in the last 10 years. So because the computational capabilities have increased so much, we can deal with lots of data. And because we can deal with lots of data, today we can actually apply lots of stuff which we were not able to apply earlier. Some of the things are vision systems, learning systems, natural language processing, neural networks, expert systems. Very quickly, expert system is also a very, very popular AI system, which utilizes the knowledge of the human beings. Like, say, for example, you can have an expert like engineer, or let's say, let's take an example of chartered accountant. So chartered accountant will give all the information to a knowledge engineer, and not only one chartered accountant, multiple chartered accountants will give all the information about the knowledge engineer. And once they use this knowledge engineer will create a knowledge base, and then he will create an inference engine. An inference engine he will create based on the knowledge provided by the human being. And inference engine is again something like condition action rules. If this happens, then you should take this action, something like that. And once that is created, you also create a user interface, and a user who may not be an expert, who is not a chartered accountant, he can interact with this machine and he can ask questions, and the machine will give you answer as if it is it is an expert. And it has got the knowledge of not only one chartered accountant, but multiple chartered accountants. Similarly, even this is true for physicians, this is true for lawyers. In fact, many of the lawyers are using AI systems. Nowadays, almost all professions are using AI systems so that they can make a better judgment about their cases. In case of lawyers, they are getting help from AI systems, and they are able to, let's say, fight good cases, like successfully. But yeah, good point is that this is available to everyone. So now the expertise is that who is able to use the AI systems better. So this was about AI system. There's an example here, like say, if someone has got certain symptoms, you can predict what is wrong with that person. In internet also, there are so many sites where if you tell them, your symptoms of your disease, and they will tell you with probability, you have got indigestion problem, around 83% probability that you have got indigestion problem, but 3% probability that you have got a cancer, and 1% probability, and everything is very, very easily predicted. They are all, you can say, AI applications. One of the most famous expert system in the world is called Watson, IBM Watson, which is a supercomputer. You can say it has got lots of knowledge, and lots of organizations are using. You can also take a monthly subscription of Watson, and you can always use the knowledge of Watson. If you are a chemical engineer, you can predict the unsafe conditions in an oil field. If you are a banker, you can, use the knowledge of IBM Watson to make certain predictions, etc. Then you have got, so there are some videos, but I'll not, let me, you must have seen those videos a lot, so I'll not, because nowadays what has happened, WhatsApp is there. So a lot of news spreads faster. Whatever new happens, everyone already knows about it. So I would be more interested in telling you how all these things are done. But before I go to that part, let me also talk about natural language processing. So the way we learn languages, how we learned, we already knew that every sentence phrase, SP means sentence phrase. Sentence phrase has got a noun phrase and has a verb phrase. So we have a noun phrase and a verb phrase. Every sentence phrase has a noun phrase and a verb phrase. Yeah. This our English teacher told you earlier. And every noun phrase has got an article and also a noun. And verb phrase has got a verb and a noun phrase again. And noun phrase has again got a article and a noun, right? Now what we are training the machine whenever we want the machine to understand the language. So we are training the machine to detect the meaning from a sentence, or if it is the reverse way, to create a sentence out of a given situation. So we call it as NLU or NLG. NLU means natural language understanding or natural language generation. Yeah, both are coming under NLP, natural language processing. So, in fact, if you join our data science courses in the advanced level, we teach you NLP also. So in the basic course, we just teach you Python, we teach you some algorithms, we teach you how to explore the data, how to collect the data, how to clean the data, how to divide the data into trainer data, test data, and validation data, etc. And then after that, we develop some models also in the basic level. In the intermediate level, we introduce you to NLP. And of course, in advanced level, we also talk about neural networks. So one of the best things what NLP can do is it can do sentiment analysis, means it can understand this particular book. It can read the whole book in few seconds, a few milliseconds, I would say. It can give you the summary of the whole book in few milliseconds. It can also tell you what is the
benefits that clinical teams, the health.
Like for example, if I just show you, there's not enough time to show you all the videos, so I'm just summarizing everything. Let's say, for example, it can tell you what this particular paragraph is talking about. What are the key findings? It can also tell you what is the key takeaways of this, and it can read the emotions also. It can read the emotions of that particular text also. So all these things are very much possible, and if you have that knowledge of how to create the applications. Now, why you should be learning all these things? See, this is a vast knowledge. Why you should be learning all these things? Because the humanity requires a lot of experts who are domain experts also and who are data science experts also. So, for example, if you are working in a warehouse and I am a data scientist, I know how to, do my SVP or rather, let's say, binary logistic regression. I know how to develop the algorithms or how to develop the models out of the algorithms, but I don't know warehousing. If you are working in a bank, I know the data analytics part, but I don't know the banking part. If you are working in healthcare, I know the data analytics part, but I don't know the healthcare part. Now, what if I teach you the basics of data analysis and data analytics and data science? And when you are interacting with me, you will be able to communicate with me in a much better way, and you will be able to guide me in a much better way, so that I, as a data scientist, can develop such models which are more useful to you. So that is the key requirement of the future. That's why there is a huge requirement of people who are aware of data science and machine learning. Okay, coming back to some more areas of research areas of AI, talking about robots. Robots can take an action on the physical, they can act on the environment physically as well. So that is one main difference between robots and AI programs. Nowadays, robotic surgery is very much possible, and now after 5 or 10 years, you will see that people will say, I want to be operated only by a robot. I don't want.
Robotic surgery involves using this instrument, the Da Vinci robot, which is a four-armed robot which allows a surgeon to manipulate tissue inside the body through small incisions. The instruments that you see here, these robotic instruments, are actually placed through the body through a trocar. These trocars are basically a portal between the outside and the inside of the body. These instruments have more precision and more dexterity than standard surgical instruments. This is the Da Vinci scope, and during surgery, a camera is mounted on the scope and provides a high-definition view with very intense light. This view gives me a three-dimensional vision inside the body, which allows me to see things better with more clarity than I can see with my own eyes. The robot has many advantages for surgery, and what this allows me to do is surgery with less trauma to the tissues, which means better healing for my patients.
I'm happy to tell you that I have been advising Ministry of Health in Saudi Arabia in robotic process surgery applications. And I'm also happy to tell you that in Ministry of Health, I've conducted many data analytics programs, data science programs, and not only in Ministry of Health, in the beginning, those who joined late, they might have missed out on that introduction. I have also consulted for many banks in fraud detection. Now, this coming to the neural, the most happening part of our research area of the AI. Now, before I come to that, which is artificial neural networks, how to replicate a human brain, let me also clarify certain things, because now you have at least heard from me. You must have heard from lots of people, lots of jargons, but you also heard some jargon from me. And then you might have now got confused with, sometimes I say AI, then machine learning, then data science, then deep learning. What's all these things? So let me put everything into a Venn diagram. Okay. And this will give you a little good idea. And then from there, we will proceed further. And then we will also teach you one algorithm, as I told you. And I also going to show you the one of the good case studies. In fact, we have got more than 35 case studies from various industries. We have ourselves actually, advised lots of industries, and not only me, but of course our team. I'm not always saying I have done it, but our team members have done it. And maybe one or two I will be happy to share in the last 15 minutes. Okay, so if I just put this as an AI, artificial intelligence, AI, what is the goal of AI? What exactly we are looking at? What we want to achieve through AI? The ultimate goal is to develop AI application. Now, what is an AI application? When I say AI application, an example is, let's say, self-driving car. Yeah, it is an AI application. But please remember, this AI application is actually the synchronized effort of a lot of people. One of them is data scientists or machine learning expert, but there are lots of people like mechanical engineer, electrical engineer. They are also required to develop this self-driving car. So whenever we are doing, or let's say ChatGPT, nowadays ChatGPT is very famous, that is also an AI application. So our final goal by learning about AI is to enable the machine to think like a human being, enable the machine to think and act like a human being, enable the machine to think. I'll just write think, maybe, and act also. Act like human being. Intelligently, I'll just say intelligently, because now they are much better than the human beings. Okay, so intelligently. Intelligence, there is no limit, right? Now what happens? How am I able to achieve that? So machine learning is a subset of that. Machine learning is a subset of AI. Now, machine learning talks about making the machine learn by providing some data. Okay, so using some data, the machine learns, and it can take intelligent decisions. So if it learns well, it will take good decisions. If it has not learned enough, it will take bad decisions. In machine learning, so I can say you have got lots of statistical tools to explore the data. Lots of statistical tools to explore the data. And these statistical tools can be learned by anyone. You don't have to be in IT to learn these statistical tools. Now, there are different types of machine learnings, and I'll just list 3 main types. And anyone knows about it, just you can write in the chat box. One is supervised learning. Yeah. One is unsupervised learning. Okay. And the third one is reinforcement learning. Okay. Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning uses the labeled data. Labeled data means, I'll give an example and I'll teach you one of the algorithms in supervised learning. I will teach you. And if time permits, I will teach you one of the algorithms in unsupervised learning. And I'll demonstrate one of the algorithms in reinforcement learning too. So labeled data. Okay. Maybe to save my time, I can use my previous videos also from my previous programs. By the way, lots of videos are available. Those who joined early, they must have seen. We played some videos. So lots of information on videos is also available. Some case studies also I have presented in many conferences worldwide in data science. Europe I had presented, in US data science conference also I presented. These are all available on our Anexas YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the Anexas YouTube channel. You will get a lot of information. And it is pure information. There's nothing much apart from the information in that. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll get to know lots of knowledge in simple, plain English language. So coming back, supervised learning. We have labeled data. Means the data with the features, it is clearly labeled. Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, it is the data is not labeled here. So some of the techniques which we use here is k-means. Clustering is one application, or which is an area where we use unsupervised learning. And reinforcement learning means it is also known as semi-supervised learning. So it is based on learning from the information received from the environment as well as the past data. It's like a part of both. It's also known, it's like supervised learning the way, reinforcement learning would be something like, if you go back to your early childhood, how you would learn some in your classroom. Your teacher would say, well, if you are able to give a right answer, I will give you marks, additional marks. These marks were the utility points for us in those days. We were trying to maximize the marks, the scores, isn't it? Or sometimes even if we were 3-year-old or 2-year-old, our mother would say that, well, if you are able to memorize something, I will give you a chocolate. So the chocolate was a utility point for us that time. So if we were able to, let's say our teacher would ask, okay, tell me, they would tell in one fine day in the classroom, they'll say, this is known as a pen. And the next day they would ask the same question, what is this? And if you are able to say that this is a pen, then you will get 2 marks, plus 2 marks. And if you are not able to recall it, you will either get 0 marks or maybe sometimes -1 marks, or you may also get something you don't like. So, but you learned, right? You still learned. So similarly, even an agent I can develop that if it is doing the right things, I will give plus points. If it is doing the wrong things, I'll give minus points. And the whole goal is to maximize the utility points. Something like this is used in the reinforcement learning. I'm trying to be as simple as possible when I'm using the language. I'm trying to use simple words. So reinforcement learning. Now, apart from that, then after that, what if I make machine to learn by itself? So we call this as deep learning. Yeah. So here we use. So okay, let me also put this under machine learning. So this is about machine learning, right? So I'm just talking. This is coming under machine learning part. Okay, so just remember this part. This is coming under machine learning part. And then deep learning. Deep learning is about, I was about to show you some neural networks. Then I told you, let me first give you a bigger picture. Then I will come to that neural network. So here we use multi-neural network architecture. Multi-neural. I will show you some example of that as well. Multi-neural network architecture. And here you have, so in a way, it mimics the human brain. Yeah. And here you use ANN, artificial neural network. If your inputs are in the form of numbers, if your inputs are in the form of images and videos, unstructured data, then you use CNN, convolution neural network. So images or videos. And if your inputs are in the form of time series, then you use RNN. So ANN for numbers, CNN for images, RNN for time series. Now, if you give me 3 to 4 months of your time in my online sessions, 2 hours every day almost, or not every day, I think 3-4 days a week, 2 hours. In 3 to 4 months, I can make you I can't say expert, because no one can be an expert in AI ML. If someone claims that he's an expert, no, you cannot. And by the time you think you are an expert, the technology has changed. But you can't go ahead if you don't know what was behind. So it's very, very important to keep learning. But of course, a lot of money is there. That's a good point, right? And everyone loves money. Okay, so ANN, CNN, and RNN. But I've been also using a term called data science often. So what is data science? So data science fits somewhere here. So to develop an AI application, as I told you, you also need other streams, like experts from other streams, like engineers. If you are trying to treat a disease or find a cure to a disease, you need physicians, nurses. If you're trying to construct a great building, you need construction experts. So if you are trying to make a chemical, then you need chemical engineers and petrochemical engineers. So that part is definitely there. But apart from that, we need data scientists also. Now, data science, this is known as data science. Now, data science deals with statistics, probability, linear algebra, etc. Or I can say mathematics part of it. This data scientist has to interact with the experts from AI, deep learning, and ML. So part of the data science makes you an ML expert also, deep learning expert also, and AI. Partly, I'm talking about partly. So all these people, when they come together, they create wonders. As a team, when they come together, they start creating certain things which were unthinkable in the past. People could not even think of it. They would just imagine. Sometimes they would laugh at it. And they'll say, it is not possible. But as we see, and you will see, in the next years, next 10 years, lots of things you will see being made possible, which you thought were impossible just 5 years ago. Okay. Because I have been, you see, hardcore AI, ML, I also joined, let's say 7 or 8 years ago. Although data science and data analytics and algorithms and your statistical part, I have been teaching for the last 33 years. So it has been a little easier for me to adopt to this. But the actual, I would say, my induction to AI or ML has happened hardly in reality, I would say in 3, 4, 5 years ago. But in 3 to 4 years only, I have seen so many changes. But the good part is you can start at any time from ground zero, and you can catch up anytime. And of course, you can give up anytime also. I left you. But my students in the past are testimony to the fact that they have understood everything in simple language, and they have been using algorithms and developing models in multiple domains, which have been useful to their companies. So strongly recommended that you also embrace the world of data science and AI and ML. Now, having told you and given you this picture, which is a very basic introductory picture of what is AI, ML, DL, DS, data science, I hope you are with me still. Yeah. If you are with me still, then let me expand. So let me start talking about the supervised learning. Yeah. Then if time permits, I will talk about unsupervised learning. And as I told you, to save my time, I can use my previous videos just to explain certain things in a fast manner. And then also I will very briefly give you an example of some reinforcement learning. And also, before I go to that, supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning, I will also talk about at least ANN, or neural networks. And then, of course, case study. Okay. And also, I will introduce, I'll tell you. In fact, you can download Python. If you have not yet downloaded Python, I'll tell you how to download Python. And you can write your first program in Python today itself. It is so easy. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to others. You know, nowadays, if people learn Python, you can learn Python in 1 or 2 hours. But once they learn, they start behaving as if they are, a big expert in Python. Nowadays, you can also say to any coder, a person who is in IT, and sorry, I know a lot of people are from IT, all the coding can be easily done in ChatGPT. So you don't need to learn coding also. Okay. But at least you should know the basics part, and basic part you should know. See, like you don't have to now recite the tables. When we were kids, in our old days, we used to learn 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12, 3 5s are 15, etc. But I know it was a waste of time. There was no point in wasting my 3-4 years in just learning the tables. Now, I wasted my 3 to 4 years of my precious time in just learning 7 2s are 14 and 7 7s are 49. Now, it was not required, isn't it? Today you have calculators. Today you have devices. If I say, what is 7 times 7? It will tell me 49. So I could have really learned something better, isn't it? So, so nowadays things are changing and you have to adapt to the new changes. Now let me, what should I do? Should I first teach you supervised learning, or should I teach you ANN? Okay, let me first teach you some algorithms. Okay. Then I come to the ANN part. Yeah. Okay, good. So let me tell you what do we mean by labeled data. Okay, so let me show you some labeled data. Maybe I'll pull out some let me show. Yeah, this is an example of a labeled data. Now here, I'm trying to predict, let's say, look at this data, whether the person is diabetic or not. Okay. How will I predict? So I will collect the data of lots of people, maybe hundreds of people. And based on certain features, we call these features like, glucose, blood pressure, skin thickness, insulin, etc. These are the features. All the data are labeled. It can be associated with a label, isn't it? So with glucose of 148 and blood pressure of 72, etc., 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 the person has diabetes. This was like, in certain data, if given this conditions, the person has diabetes. And in certain conditions, which are mentioned here, person did not have diabetes. This kind of data is known as labeled data. Okay. So I hope you understood what is labeled data. Now, when I am dealing with labeled data, I can use certain algorithms. Now, which algorithms to choose? You have to master that part. I will, because this is an introductory lesson with 80% of you have never gone through any data science training program. Let me start with the very, very basics. I think everyone will understand this part. Let's take some example. I have a data experience and age of the employees in your organization. Okay. Now, one person has experience of 0 years, and I find that the age is 22. Another person has experience of 10 years, the age is 32. Another person is 30 years, the age is 42. Another person is 40 years, the age is, so 32, 42, sorry, 22. It is 20, yeah, 20, sorry, 20. See, I'm not if I were an AI agent, I would not have committed that mistake. Yeah, so here experience is 52. Now, if I plot this data, now I'm doing it manually, but just to tell you, if you use any software like Python, or even, you can use lots of software. Statistical softwares are there. Blue Sky software is there. Blue Sky Statistics is there. Minitab is there. And any softwares, you can use multiple softwares. Python is most popular, and Python also helps you to program and reduces a lot of your work. Now, if I plot this data, this is the age, this is the experience. Now, taking you back to your school days. At 0 experience, the y-intercept, this is known as the y-intercept, right? So this is 22 years. At 10 years of experience, I am at 32. At 20 years of experience, I am at 42, and so on and so forth, right? I hope with this part, I don't have to explain enough. Yeah. So this becomes almost a straight line. I have taken simple data so that you understand the concept. And if you go back to your school days, This is an equation of a straight line which takes the form of y is equal to a plus bx or mx plus c, or if you want to complicate this, is like beta naught plus beta 2 x, where beta naught and beta 2 are constants or numbers. Let me not go into too much of jargons. Let just keep it simple. So this is what we had learned in our school days, isn't it? This is an equation. This is an equation of a straight line. This we call it as algorithm. Which algorithm? Regression algorithm. So when I am dealing with two data which are both continuous in nature, this is a continuous nature. Experience, age are continuous data, isn't it? Continuous data is something which can be represented on a number line, which can take a decimal place also. We can have 10.1 years as an experience or 22.3 years as an age. So that is a continuous data. So whenever I am dealing with continuous data, I can make a, first I can make a scatter plot. This is known as scatter plot. And I can also create a regression equation. Now regression is, this is the model, right? This is the model. This is the algorithm. And out of this algorithm, I have to create a model. So this is known as algorithm. Algorithm is the regression, which takes the formula of y is equal to a plus bx. And now, if I feed the data, I can get my values of a and b. So a is nothing but the y-intercept, which is nothing but the value of y when the value of x is equal to 0. Isn't it? So when my value of x is equal to 0, this is the x, right? This is the y. So value of x is equal to 0. What is the value of y? A. That becomes a. So can you guess what is the value of a here? Can you tell me? What is the value of a? Try to guess. When the experience is 0, what is the value of y? It is a. It's 22, right? Amit Bhatt is telling 22. Yes, you're right. So it's 22. So I can now create my model. I will say age is equal to a, which is 22, plus now this b. B is what? B is the slope of the line. Means if I increase 1 unit of x, how many units of y will increase? So a anyway is going to remain constant. This is constant, right? It's not going to change. But if I increase 1 unit of experience, 1 year in experience will increase how many years of age? That is known as b. Slope of the line, as I say. Here it is 1, isn't it? 1 year of experience will increase 1 year of age. So I will just put 1 into experience. Okay. So now I have got a model. Prediction model. Now I can predict my age. I can predict the age of any person in my organization. So if I ask you, a person has got 22 years of experience, what is the age of that person? You can always say that age of that person is how much? 44. I hope you are with me, right? Now, not always you will get, suppose someone is having 22 years of experience. You may find the person may be having 43 years of experience also, 42 years of experience also. So the difference between the predicted value, this is known as the predicted value. Yeah, this is known as predicted value. What is the predicted value for 22 years of experience? 44, right? But actually, I checked with Mr. A, and he was having 22 years of experience, and I predicted that he's 24, but actually he said I am 45 or 43. He said 43. So I was off the mark by one year. So I would say I was off the mark by -1. This we call it as residual. Okay. Residual. So the residual is nothing but the observed value minus the fitted value. So the difference between the observed and the fitted value. Obviously, the best model would be where the residuals are 0 or close to 0. And not always, every residual could be 0. Some residuals will always be there. In reality, you will never get this the straight line, isn't it? You'll get reality will be something like this. But you are fairly close to that line. And the residuals, how many residuals are, how many they are far away from the predicted values. The residuals, ideally, of course, it should be 0. Sum total will be always 0 because you have positive and negatives being cancelled out. So I will calculate something called as, I'll square the residuals. I'll square those residuals and calculate those values. And there are certain values, I'll not go into the details of those discussions, but they will be giving you a good accuracy of your model. So what I will do is, I will divide the data, whatever data I've got, I will divide the data into test data. Test data means I'm going to use that data to create my model. Oh, sorry, this is a trained data. Right? So first, I will use around 60 to 70% of the data for training my model. I would train. And once I have developed a model, I would like to test that model. Okay. So whatever data I'm having, let's say I've got data of, say, 500 employees of your organization, maybe around 60% of that data, around 300 employees data, I will use it to train my machine. And once the machine is trained, I have developed this model. Let's say I have developed this model, which is age is equal to 22 plus experience. Then I will test it on the remaining data. In fact, I can even divide this data into two parts, further parts, testing data and validation data. So I can test whether my model is really working or not. And then finally, I can validate. So this is what happens in machine learning. Now, this a very, very brief overview I gave it to you, like how we train our machine and how we validate our model. This was just one algorithm. If you are ready to take a little bit of more complications, yes, let me. So there are two options. Should I teach you binary logistic regression algorithm, or should I go for multiple regression algorithm? Given the data, given the time we have right now, what we would like to learn? Multiple means multiple regression. We can further expand this particular model with more features, or you would like to learn a new algorithm called binary logistic regression. Okay, what I'll do, I will expand it on multiple regression, and binary logistic regression, I will give you a video link. You can watch that link at a later stage. So let me expand it further. So now we have learned this this is the simple linear regression. Only one X and one Y. Now, what if I have got multiple X factors? So if I just I am being very slow and not using any jargons as much as possible. But sorry if I'm using certain jargons at some point of time. I can't help it, You have to learn that. I know this is the introductory session, so it has to be easy. Now, let us say one individual I met and I asked him, how many years of experience you have? He said 10 years. I would predict can you tell me what will I predict his age? How much age I'll predict? Yes. I'll age 32, yeah. Predict as 32. Yes. I'll predict as 32. But this person tells me that he is 37. So the residual is very high. Then I ask him, why? What happened? So he said that I took a 5 years break. I took a 5 years break. Now you'll have certain data like this, isn't it? If there is only one or two people like that in the group of 300, it's okay. We call it as outlier. But if there are several people who have taken a break, then I have to deal with it. Because if I don't, if I just use the same age is equal to 22 plus experience, my predictability capability of this model will be very, very low, isn't it? I'll be off the mark many times. I hope you agree with me. I'll be not able to predict many times accurately if I have got so many people who have taken breaks in between the career. So what I will do, I will introduce one more feature, which is called it as a break. Yeah. And then I'll say first person, 0 break, everyone 0 break. But this person with 10 years of experience, he had taken 5 years of break. Okay. And I will introduce a new factor in my regression equation, which is break time. Now my predictability power or accuracy of my model increases, isn't it? I've increased one more X factor there, and now we call it R square. R square is actually the percentage of variation explained in Y by the X factors, whatever X factors. Sorry to use this complicated sentence because it's an introductory session, so many of you may not be able to understand this. It's fine. I need around 15 minutes to explain that part, but for the time being, just ignore that sentence, whatever I said. But just to tell you, as in a simple language, if I increase the number of terms in my equation, in my regression model, it is going to increase my accuracy, isn't it? I hope you agree with me. Let me take another example. One person had not taken a break. He has experience of 10 years. And how much? Okay, can you tell me what will be the age of this person? No break, experience 10 years. What will be the age? Yes, quickly. 32 again. But now this person says, well, I'm 35. Or let's say, let me make it still, let's say he says 30, I'm 37. Or I'll say let's say 35. So I'm not 32, but I'm 35. Okay, then I ask him, what happened? This person says, let's say I'm a doctor, I'm a physician, or I have done a PhD maybe. But so let's take if he's a physician or a doctor. Because physicians generally take a little bit more time to study. And I think most of you know, they study a little bit more as compared to other normal, other graduates like me, we study for 4 years of 5, so they study for 5 and 6 years, so sometimes 7 years. So because of that, that additional 3 years get added. Now I am putting one more feature in my model profession. And because I'm just taking doctor, so I'll say physician or not physician. So I'll just say this person is not physician, not physician, or I'll just put NP. Okay, I'll just put NP, right? NP, not physician, not physician, not physician, not physician, and this person is physician. So as soon as you see P here, what happens? 3 years gets added to your age. So what will my model deliver? In fact, see, model will do all these things. You don't have to really, right now I'm making this model for you. Later on, you can tell Python to make this model for you. You can tell Minitab to make this model for you. You can make tell Blue Sky statistical model to make this model for you. You can take JMP, you can take SAS, so many models, so many softwares are available, and most of them are available free of cost. Python is also available free of cost, by the way. Yeah. So what I'm doing now, because I have introduced one more, that is profession, I can just put 3 times physician. Means if a person is physician, okay, let me even explain that part also. We still have time. Let me explain that. See, how do I deal with this? This particular, this were all numbers 0, 0, 0, 0, 10. Then suddenly I got an alphabet here. How would I deal with that? So what I will do, I can create indicator variables. What is indicator variables? I will say not physician and physician. When profession is not physician, this will be 1 and physician will be 0. When it is, so it will be 1, 1. And for this person, it is 0 and 1. I hope I understand I'm being a little fast, but I hope you got the point here. What I'm doing is I'm trying to convert this categorical variable into indicator variable. Indicator variable. Not physician. So when a person is not physician, the value of NP becomes 1 and P becomes 0. I hope, just say yes if you have understood whatever I'm doing. Yeah, it's very difficult to teach multiple regression in such a short time, but are you getting it? Are you still with me? Okay, that's great. At least Absasan Ibrahim said yes. Only one person out of so many. Okay. So you are able to understand, right? So what I'm doing, I am introducing new terms, NP or P. So I've introduced a new term. Now all these things will be taken care of by our software. So don't have to worry. So you understand the logic. You will get an equation. You will get, some values like multicollinearity, some values like, certain things. You should be able to make, you should be able to understand what these values mean. That's it. Now I can say that now I have developed a good model, which can predict the age of all the people in my, say, in the circles whom I know. So now what I will do, I have got Mr. L. Mr. L, what is your years of experience? He says 3 years. Have you taken any break? Yeah, 1 year I took a break. Are you a physician? No. So that means your age is 26. And I predicted. Okay. Similarly, another person, Mr. M. Mr. M, what is your experience? Oh, my experience is 10 years. Have you taken a break? No. Are you a physician? Yes. So physician, yes means 1. So I'll just add 3 here. So now I'll say, Mr. M, your age is 35. So now my model is able to predict the age of the people, a new set of people whom he has never interacted. And that is how the models today can predict whether the person who's coming to your website, this person is going to buy from you or not. Whether this person, a particular person entering into the your retail shop, how much of goods worth how much he's going to buy from your retail shop. This particular disease, probability of a disease, given these set of conditions, whether this person has this particular disease or not. This is how you will be able to predict. This was about multiple regression. Let me also very quickly, using a video, let me show you even logistic regression also. I asked you whether I should take example of logistic or, yeah. Let us say a person, I want to predict whether the person has diabetes or not. Okay. Now, there could be many factors affecting the diabetes. So I have just taken one example. One of the factors could be age. So we collect some data. Okay, here we are collecting data. Person with age of 10 years, that there was no diabetes. 15 years, no diabetes. 20 years, no diabetes. And similarly, I collected more data. Person with 50. So if you see, after, let's say, around up to 30 years, I did not get diabetes, but at 30 years, I got diabetes also. So some people had diabetes. 40 years, no. 40 years, yes. 50 years, yes. I had people with 50 years with diabetes as well. And I had people with 50 years with no diabetes also. Yeah, so you can see this data in 60. So this data is all available, isn't it? You can easily calculate. Now, if I plot this on our chart, it will look like something like this. Person with 5 years, yes means 1, he has diabetes, and no means 0. So 5 years, no diabetes. It's 0, 0, 10, 10, 20. At 30, I am receiving both. People with diabetes, people without diabetes. I hope you are able to see this. So if I ask you, what is the probability of a person getting a diabetes if his age is 5? And probability is always expressed between 0 to 1. Okay. So this is no diabetes, 0 and 1. What is the probability of a person? What is the probability of a person who is 5-year-old having diabetes? 0 or 1? Person is 5 years. Looking at this data, 0, right? Okay, what is the probability that a person whose age is 80 years, he has diabetes? It is 1, yeah. And what is the probability that a person with 40 years is having diabetes? 40 years having diabetes. What is the probability? So 40 years, a person with 40 years. I give you a person with 40 years. It can be 0.5, 50%, right? So there is an S curve. We call it binary logistic regression curve, this S curve. This S curve is the probability curve. So at 40, your probability is 5, isn't it? I'll just draw it here, right? Just draw it here. This is the S curve. This is 0, and this is 80 years. And I'm at 40. So at 40, my probability is approximately, this is 1, and this is 0, right? So I can easily say that at the age of 40, probabilities. Now the same thing. Now I just showed you this little bit of probability. What I'm doing is I am predicting the outcome. The person has diabetes or not based on a given X factor. So I can predict the diabetes if I know the age. Now let me show you. Same thing I'm doing here. Yeah, same thing I'm doing. I just took age here, age and outcome, whether a person is having diabetes or not. But I can even put diabetes pedigree function, BMI, insulin, skin thickness, blood pressure. And if I collect the data of a person, based on my model, I can predict whether this person is having diabetes or not. And because it is based on the real data, most of the time I will be right. That is how the AI applications are now able to predict so many things. So I just showed you binary logistic regression model also. There's one more model called support vector machine, algorithm. But I don't think we have got time for that. Maybe some other time, or actually I have already explained this in one of my another video. You can watch that video. It says AI in healthcare. I have made another video, AI in healthcare. That you can always watch that if you are interested in learning this part as well. So I just wanted to show you, okay, let me talk about other part also, reinforcement learning as well. What about reinforcement learning? I promised you, right? So let me talk about ANN and reinforcement learning. First, reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning means, I told you, I tell the so what I'm doing, I've created a robot and I tell the robot that you have to walk. If you are able to walk, you will get +1 or +2. If you fall down, I'll give you -2. If you fall down very badly, I'll give you -5. So these formula can be easily created and given very easily. Don't have to remember any formula. Just we'll tell you what algorithm to use. So you have got +1, -2, and -5. Now, based on this instruction, this particular robot starts experimenting in the environment. It takes inputs from the environment, processes it, tries to take some action. If it succeeds, gets +2, becomes happy. If it falls, it becomes unhappy, means -2. And in order to maximize, it will start doing right things. After some time, you'll see it is doing all the things right. And just few hours, it will be able to walk, and not only walk, run, and sometimes run even faster than the human beings. So this is how the models are created. Now let me show you one Python, how easy it is to get the Python. By the way, let me ask you one question. How many of you are interested in, if you are from Riyadh, then it's direct question. Otherwise, even I conduct training programs on online also. Let me show you, before I show you the Python part, which is also easy. But if you want, some of you would be interested in, before I go to that Python and the neural network part, how many of you are interested in my Okay, let me ask you the question itself. When are you interested in learning further about the data science course? If you can answer this question. So accordingly, I will give you all the details. I will send you the details. And I promise you that it won't be complicated. The learning won't be complicated. And trust me, even though you don't have any background of statistics or IT, still you can become a data scientist. And I'm not joking. If I'm the first person to tell you that, then I should be thankful to me that I have told you the secret. But if I'm not the first person to tell you that, you say, yeah, we are aware of it, then again, now I'm here to motivate you to become a data scientist or an ML expert, because you will have a great future if you are able to do this. So please answer this poll. And if you are interested, if you register today, I've got a very good offer today for you. These are the topics which I'll be covering in my Riyadh program. And in fact, later on, I can extend it for, I do conduct, as I told you, I do conduct online training programs online also, but specifically, these are introduction to AI, introduction to Python, machine learning basics, supervised and supervised learning, regression, logistic regression, clustering, decision tree, ensemble methods, random forest, forecasting model, reinforcement learning, deep learning, case studies, introduction to Tableau or Power BI. All these things will be covered in your classroom session of Riyadh. And otherwise, online also, we do cover. And this is classroom training is 2,500 Riyal, and live online training is 1,000 Riyal. There is one more. Some people want only the recorded sessions, etc. That also you can do. The whole program of recorded session is, I'm not sure how much it is. My team will tell me that. But it is 525 Riyal or dirhams, one and the same thing. And but that is only recorded sessions, but it's not interactive. Means you can't ask question, or sometimes I change my case studies depending on type of audiences. So, but these recorded sessions are also available. If you are interested, only that you can just even enroll for that also. But I'm really looking forward to, and the same training, I'm doing it in Australia afterwards. I don't think right now in this time people are attending from Australia. But if you're hearing my recording session, listening to my recording session, so the same thing is applicable to you, is also available to you at 2,000 Australian dollars, which is approximately 5,000 Riyal or dirhams, if you want in Australia. So I'll be conducting this program in Australia also, and that will be in mid-July. So this first program is in Riyadh. After that, next program in August is going to be in New York, and then another one is in London, and then of course back to Dubai, and then in Bangalore, and there's a whole schedule. But right now I'm focusing primarily what's going to happen after 2 weeks in Riyadh. So if you are interested, please join this session. And if you are live in front of me, I will make sure that you learn, you become a good data scientist, and you will get motivated. You will get enough motivation to simultaneously, along with whatever you are doing, simultaneously you start a good profession of a data scientist, which has got a great future. Trust me, I'm not joking, right? You'll get 6 months access to learning management system and training materials, lifetime access to alumni membership, free access to our competitive courses. And I will give you some assignments. You can start earning immediately after you become a data scientist. You can start earning immediately. Okay, so I conduct a lot of free webinars like free PMP workshop. You can join that. Free CPHQ workshop, free yellow belt training, data science training, Power BI training. Okay. Okay. So any plans to conduct? Yeah, Dammam, Eastern Province, then Dammam, right? Dammam. Dammam, actually, I did one program 3 months ago, but next program I can plan. So just let us know. Otherwise, you can join my online trainings also. But yeah, Dammam also, if I've got, in fact, a lot of people are asking for Dammam, Al Koper. So Muhammad is there. And then we have got, yeah. Okay. Now there is no free offer. Yeah, free offer is like, actually, see, we have a team, right? So whole team is trying to, although you see me delivering this training program with me, I've got a big team of, who's helping me. So we have to take care of everyone. And I also devoted my whole now life to training and teaching. So I would like to keep doing this for a long, long time. So that is why we have to take care of that part also. So yeah. But yeah, so if you are interested, you can just watch the recordings as well. Recording full programs are available. That is only 500 dirhams or 500 riyals. That is also very much possible. And yeah, so now let us go back to our one more thing I was telling. Let me show you Python. So Python is so easy. Okay, before I go to the Python, let me also show you. There is the upcoming area, the hot topic nowadays. We can replace the human neurons. Neurons means the brain cells. So human neurons are generally connected to thousands of axons and stimuli accepted by the dendrites. So human brain comprises of billions of neurons. The inputs are received and the memories are created within the neurons. Maybe once teacher showed you this pen and it became a pen because I remembered that this particular object looks like it has to be a pen. It needs to be told this is a pen. So a memory got stored in multiple neurons in my brain. Okay. And when a particular memory keeps stored again and again, it becomes solid memory. What happens whenever some information is stored? There is a myelin sheath on the axons that gets thickened. And that's how we create our memory. Right? Now, same thing, what if I can do? Same thing if I can do it using silicons. So that's what now human beings are doing. So silicons and wires act as live neurons and dendrites. Nodes imitate the neurons, and each node takes inputs. Now, this may look a little strange and complicated, but really things are not that complicated because everything is automated nowadays. So just introducing some artificial layer of neurons, and nowadays it is so easy, just add one layer, two layer. I don't have enough time to show you the demonstration, but there are lots of websites where you can even add and reduce the layers as per your liking. And you can make predictive models. Very easily you can create those. Just to give the end result or end example. So if I show different pictures and I want my AI application to identify the particular image. So first I will train the machine with the pictures of cats and say, this is a cat. And once the machine is learned, depending on certain features of the cats, etc. After some time, if I give a picture of cat, machine will identify that this is a cat. In Facebook, You must have noticed they have started identifying now they have stopped it because of certain reasons I don't know. But earlier, it could detect your photograph, isn't it? It could detect your photograph anywhere, posted some picture of yours somewhere. It could detect, it could tag your picture also. So this is again an application of AI. So unlabeled photo can be easily predicted after the machine is trained. Now here I am dealing with images, videos. So this becomes ANN. It becomes a CNN. So you have artificial neural network, then convolution neural network, and then RNN for time series. So for images and pictures, it is CNN. So you can easily use these. So this is part of the deep learning. What I just showed you just now, neural network is part of the deep learning. Machine learns by itself. Machine learns to learn by itself. Okay. So now let me show you some Python as I promised you. So those who are interested, they can download the Python very easily by just going to Anaconda distribution. Just type in Anaconda distribution, anaconda.com/products/distribution. Just type in Google, just type Anaconda distribution, you will get the link. Yeah. And once you get the link, you can always with the program you download and install, it will give you all the instructions. And then after it gets installed, you will get a Jupyter notebook. You'll get a Jupyter notebook, which looks something like this. And now you can create a new notebook and you can start writing your program very, very easily. Like for example, I'll say print. What do you want? Print means write. So here you have to learn those things. Print means write. So print, welcome to the world of AI and data science. Okay. And if I just run it, it will print, it will write, welcome to the world of AI and data science. Another thing, if X is equal to 20 and Y is equal to, let's say 50, print what? X plus Y. Okay, let us see. I'm asking print X plus Y. And let us see. Oh, it is 70. Now I'm just using simple things so that you understand. It is as simple as it's like English language. That is why even school kids are learning Python nowadays. Now, I understand that many of you have got 20 years experience, 30 experience. We are resistant to change. Oh, this is not my age of learning. Please understand there's a new kids on the blog which are coming out of schools. They would be much, much more smarter than you if you don't try your hands on these simple programming languages. Otherwise, you will get very easily impressed. But now, if you are aware of this, you will be able to ask the right questions. In fact, you don't have to write programs, but you can hire people who can write programs, but you'll have to tell them. Because if you have got the knowledge of the capabilities of these applications or softwares, you will be able to guide them, direct them. As a physician, you'll say, I would like to, I'm demanding that you please write a program like this. I'm demanding you, I have got the data, please you give me a regression model, please give me a binary logistic regression model, or please apply SVM here, or at least you will ask the right questions. So that is the kind of future we are looking into at this point of time. I would have, because of the lack of time, I wanted to do something. Okay, I'll just try to show you the actual Python file. Yeah. So this was x is equal to 10, y is equal to 20, print x plus y 30. And another line I'm writing, name is equal to input. What is your name? And academy is equal to input. What is your favorite academy? So whatever a person gives, like say my name is Amitabh. Okay, Amitabh Saxena. And I'll say, well, my name is Amitabh Saxena. And it's asking what is your favorite academy? I'm just writing Anexas. Okay. So it is telling me print, I have written, print hi plus name plus academy is a great academy. So it's printing hi. No. Yeah. So let me write Amitabh. Okay. Yeah. So just, yeah. So it will, right now, I have just now removed the name which I have written. So if I write a program, something like this, input what is your name and what is your favorite academy. So what it will do is it will uh, ask my name, then it will ask the name of the favorite academy, and then it will give a sentence saying that, well, hi, Mr. Amitabh, your whatever academy name I have given, Anexas is a great academy. So in a way, it's very, very easy to write programs. Now let me show you the final part. Let me show you in a hospital how we could predict the cost of treatment for particular patients. So what we did was we, in this example, you can see that we have got a lot of features like age, gender, marital status, key complaints code, body weight, body height, HR, your blood pressure high, blood pressure low, heart rate, pulse, all these features. And then how much was the cost of treatment for that particular patient. So this data was collected for lots of patients, maybe 300 or 400 patients. And once this data was collected, these were the different factors which we collected the data for. These were the features where we had the data for. Some of the data was missing, so we cleaned the data. We understood what was the exploratory data, like what was the total build amount. So generally, we created that line graph. And then after that, and it's very easy, obviously you're showing the output of a person who has really mastered Python in just, it takes 2 or 3 weeks. Just give me 2 or 3 days. I can make you a good Python, say you can say program writer. It's not a big deal. And if you give me around 10 to 15 days, I'll make you a full expert who can create models in Python. So here, using Python, they have created some histogram of length of stay versus the count, then a relationship between age and amount billed. It shows there's a positive relationship between age and amount bill. It also tells you what are the features, all the continuous features and categorical features. So continuous features are age, body weight, height, pulse, BP, etc. And then categorical variables are here: key complaints code, implant used, gender, state at the time of arrival, past medical history, etc. These are all attribute data or categorical data. Then we first find the relationship between the different X factors. And if the X factors themselves are correlated, then we say there is a multicollinearity. Some factors are correlated within each other. So there is no point in putting all the factors in the equation. Okay, so we call this multicollinearity. So we remove the multicollinearity. That's what we have removed here. And you can learn this whole technique in around 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm just briefly telling you. So we can remove it by looking at the VIF factors. We remove that. Then we also study the categorical variables using box plot. What you are seeing here is box plot. So we create the box plot. So based on we keep on refining the model. If there are null values, means some values are not, like some people did not write the age, or you don't have the missing value, say blood pressure was not written or was not taken. So we take care of all the null values. We treat the data accordingly. So we are cleaning up the data, and then we are building a linear regression model. And it's so easy to build a linear regression model. Just call the function. It's very, very easy in Python. You don't have to really key in a lot of things or code. Just call the functions. And then after that, see here, you have got finally chosen features which are most important for my prediction. So once I have, after taking care of the VI factors, whichever high values of VI factors I've eliminated all the X factors which are correlated to each other. And then after that, I can get the coefficients of each of the factors, the like values of A, B, C, what one I showed you in the regression equation. So these are the coefficients of your first. I'm looking at the VI factors here, VI values, and then once that is taken care of, once the VI values are below 5 or 10, I can see that now finally the features or the factors which should be figuring into my regression model are these. So finally we create a very finally we build a model with the significant variables, and once we build the model, we deploy the models. We also check whether there is an outlier or not by plotting the residuals. And if the normality of the residuals is there, the residuals are normal, means my regression equation can be trusted. So we have all these things we follow, and finally we get a proper prediction model. And by now, once I've deployed this model in the hospital, I can predict the cost of treatment of any particular patient. Whoever comes to the reception, I can predict this person is going to take this much of, like if you're a private hospital, you can even estimate the billing of that person, and with a fair good amount of accuracy. Yeah. So this is how I just wanted to show you. We have got multiple projects with us. A lot of projects. We can't share all the projects because some of the projects are very sensitive in nature, but all of you can really serve your organizations better. In fact, you yourself can analyze your own data, and you can start predicting a lot of things. You can even apply this to personal data. A lot of our students, they have developed prediction models of their their salaries. They developed the prediction models of a lot of day-to-day life examples they have taken. So they have benefited a lot, but more benefits, of course, accrue if you do the work for your organizations or even for clients. So I encourage you to attend our training session, and yeah, that's what I just wanted to cover today. I think almost I've taken 5 more minutes, additional minutes. So with that, yeah, any questions you have? Yeah, there's a course certificate. Yes, there is a certificate for this. Yes, we have. Oh, happened to my picture. Yeah, so there is a certificate as well. You can get a certificate of this course by paying 100 dirhams or 100 riyals. This is the administration fee, because so you can always claim the certificate of by paying 100 riyal. because we have already recorded your attendance. So because your attendance is recorded, based on that, you will be given the certificate. Any other questions you have? How soon you can start earning after the training? Yeah. So again, this question is based on if you become a full-time data scientist, you can start at least, earning part, I would say at least after you have completed your course, at least 3 to 4 months, you should do some assignments. Now, a lot of companies are ready to give you assignments if you tell that you are willing to work on projects at a very low cost. So they may pay you little money, but once you have got at least experience of 3 to 6 months, you can start earning independently, and even the companies will start running after you. In fact, you don't have to seek any job. You'll be offered. Just to give you an example, recently Australian government offered me a global talent visa, permanent resident, just because of, I just told that I'm into AI and ML. So it is so much in demand by every country that they're ready to do anything for you. So I can say 6 months. Yeah, I'm just giving you. Some people even start earning immediately after conducting the thing. Some people during the session itself, they are so expert, they become so enthusiastic, they start deploying the real life models during the program itself. But yeah, they are outliers, I would say. Not everyone will be able to do that. But yeah, 6 months, you should be able to earn really well. Just to answer your question. If this training certificate enough to start? Which training? Yeah, our training certificate is enough. That 3-month course, right? So not this 2-hour course. No, this 2 hours course will just is a good introductory certificate, which will help you to establish in the interview. You can always say that, yeah, I'm aware of what is data science, machine learning. That also is a good thing to have. But after you attend my 2 days of training in Riyadh, you will not be able to immediately earn money. That 2 days is going to give you good information, and you can choose which area is interesting for you. Whether you would like to create, you would like to go into neural networks, whether you would like to go into machine learning, uh, deep learning, or whether data science or the statistics parts interests you a lot. You will decide that. And based on that, you can take up my 3 months of course also. But this 2,500 reals of course will enable you to do a project. So in the next 2 to 3 months, you can do a project with me, and that's good enough for you to become eligible for earning money or taking at least some projects. No degree or diploma is required. Yes, no degree or diploma is required in data science after that. Yes, please. See, data science is one area which is new area. So definitely there are now a lot of universities have started degrees and programs, diploma programs. That is for sure, they are there. But it will take around 4 or 5 years for those formalized trainings to come up, degrees to come up. By the time those who are quick enough, they would be ahead. You will be the boss of those people who would be graduating in the universities, because there was no university degree in data science in the last so many years. So certifications are good enough. So at least this will be true for the next 2 to 3 years. After that, obviously, you'll be, the people who would have got degree would be better placed. Okay, limitations of data science. That's a very good question. So limitations of data science is that the data, the input data, which you are giving. So if the input data is old data, if the input data is not representative of what you want to predict, then you will not be able to get a good model. So that is one thing. So limitations of the data science is data itself. The data which you are supplying, like as they say, garbage in, garbage out. So you should be supplying good data, then with lot of features. So the labeled data should be really good. That's one important things. And we train you in that also. In our intermediate course, we train you how to get the right data so that you develop a great model. Okay. Limitation or will the assignments you provide us after the training will be paid? See, after the training, you will get the assignments yourself. They will be paid directly to you only. See, the assignments which you will be doing in the classroom, they will be for exercises. So mostly we give you assignments on the projects which we are actually doing in the real life. Without telling you the company names, we'll give you because we also need some help, right? So while you are learning, you will not earn any money for the 3 months. After you have learned, then you can put your CV or profile in so many websites. They're looking for data scientists. It's just by mistake also if you put in your CV that you have done a certification course in data science, automatically people will capture you. Okay, any other questions are there? Is this the question someone has asked? Yeah, so also one good thing I'll tell you, some of the none of us can it's like none of us can become expert in data science. We can become an expert in one particular area. Like for example, I can tell you although I know I've served banks and healthcare industry. Although the same models are applicable, same regression is applicable to automotive industry. But right now I can claim that I am a machine learning expert in healthcare and in banking industry. But there are deep learning experts also. Then I'm aware of the deep learning part, but I have not applied that often. So some people are expert in NLP, natural language processing. So these are all other areas everyone chooses, and this is so much of work required in every area that this data science has got lots of things to offer for everyone. So it's like the cake is too big and there are very few people who can eat that. And this may not remain so after 5 years. And that is also important to know that. So please join my online session or the classroom session if you want. And looking forward to see you soon. Thank you. Thanks a lot. My team can play some videos on data science, the learning part.